Boeing's acknowledgement of the problem was late in coming. The airplane manufacturer may have lost a lot of trust, and trust is important for people who fly. Many passengers in the U.S. were caught off guard on Wednesday.
Well, we were on the plane. I got the alert when I was on the plane that Trump grounded the 737-800s, and I was a little surprised because we were on a 737-800. And when I got off the plane here in Phoenix, I checked the board and I saw there was a lot of canceled flights. So we're glad we made it.
The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration was looking isolated with its decision to allow the 737 to keep flying, although American pilots too had reported problems and complained of the new Boeing plane's unusual flying behavior. President Trump made a strong statement.
We're going to be issuing an emergency order of prohibition to ground all flights of the 737 MAX 8 and the 737 MAX 9 and planes associated with that line.
It's a fiasco for Boeing's image. In Europe on Wednesday, Norwegian Air was among the first to announce it would sue the U.S. plane manufacturer for damages. And the more than 4,000 planes of this type that are now on order will be delivered later than expected. A lot will depend on the findings from the black boxes from the plane that crashed in Ethiopia. On Wednesday, it was announced that the analysis will take place in France.
Well, the crisis is widening. Let's bring in Paul Christian Britz in Frankfurt. Paul, Boeing has thousands of outstanding orders for the model that is now not very popular anymore. What's it going to cost Boeing?
Well, Gerhard, would you want to buy a product or take a product that you are barred from using? Very unlikely. We just heard about the Ethiopian case. They're publicly thinking about switching, and others will be in the same situation. Boeing, though, will likely continue to build this airplane because disrupting the supply chain might be even more costly than building it. It's currently producing 52 of these aircraft per month. Analysts estimate that 1.8 billion to 2.5 billion in revenue will be lost per month from planes that aren't delivered. That's about 2% of the annual guidance revenue. But that wouldn't be so much of a problem if it's resolved soon. The money would just come in later if the 737 MAX issue is resolved. However, if it took longer, then storage could become a problem. Where do you put 52 airplanes a month? I don't even have space for excess furniture.
Paul, should investors actually be worried now?
Well, after the FAA announcement last night, we saw the share price drop again, over 3%. But then it somewhat recovered also this morning here in Frankfurt. And that might be because the PR disaster from the last days is finally over. There's no longer this impression that Boeing is putting profits over people. That was very, very dangerous for the company. And also, it might just not be so easy to switch for airlines as Ethiopian case might suggest, because Airbus has a backlog of 7,000 planes currently that aren't delivered. It's not going to be an easy switch.
Paul Christian Britz, thank you very much for this analysis.